What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Nosebleed section for another Victory Tuesday podcast.
Word.
Uh, Sorry about that. Past two Mondays. Last Monday was some unforeseen things we couldn't control, and last night we were just exhausted, and we wouldn't have live stream till like midnight. So, you know how it is. People got to work. Well, welcome back to another Giants Victory podcast. I'm your host, as always, 1-2 Tracy coming for you. And I'm joined by the Sexy Desi Demolition Incorporated. What's going on, man?
Yeah, there. The 3 sacks.
Yo, Dex is a monster. Before we get into the Giants game, just jump around the league like we always do. Anything you want to talk about from any of the other games that pop out, stand out to you at all? I know it was like
Not really. There was a whole lot of stuff that happened yesterday. Not yesterday on Sunday. Thank you, not being Victory Monday, Victory Tuesday. Throw my whole thing off.
I know.
It's just like the stuff that went down on Sunday was just like so mind boggling and just like it was crazy. Like Arizona beating San Francisco like out of nowhere. Cincinnati and Baltimore both putting up like 20,000 points. The absolute like madness that was the Bills and the Texans game. Like I don't know where to start, man.
Yo, and I'm pretty sure. I feel like they didn't say he was, but I feel like Josh Allen was definitely concussed after that. Like,
oh yeah, he looked it.
Yeah, he took that big hit, and he just wasn't the same after. Like, and he tried to say, "No, I'm good," but like, my man couldn't throw a rock into the ocean after that.
No,
he was jacked up. Like you said, the Ravens Bengals game was crazy. It came down to the wire, especially the play at the end with Lamar. Still in the play and find it likely. Now the Giants. Now we're facing the 1-4 Bengals Sunday night. But I'm gonna say it now. I'm not gonna. Don't let that record fool you. Like they're gonna have. They got weapons, so it's gonna be interesting. They got weapons. I'm just hoping that we can get after their court after Burrow like early and often. Like we're leading the league in sacks right now, which is what you love to hear, with 22. I hope we add another 6 to 7 this Sunday. Other than that, I mean, how about the Bucks Falcons game?
Oh, last Thursday, yeah, that was that was a game that, as a fan, just watching it, like you got to sit back and you have to enjoy, even if you don't have like you don't have a dog in the race at all, right? You got to sit back and enjoy it. As a guy who plays on FanDuel, I was absolutely furious just because of the stupid shit that was happening during that game. But like I said, I digress. That's what happens when you bet. So I can't get too mad at this shit.
Yo, 500 yards though, Kirk Cousins, 500 yards.
Just out of nowhere, man. This guy sits up here, and the first thing they do is they're celebrating Matt Ryan and all of his accomplishments, and then Kirk Cousins comes out there and it's just like, "Fuck your accomplishments. Yo, I'm running this team now." Like,
screw Matt Ryan.
Matt who? Like,
yo. Even though I kind of feel like he is Matt Ryan anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like it's so similar. 500 plus yards. Shoot, I saw somebody say that after this year, the Giants should try to sign Kurt and try and draft a quarterback to sit behind him if they let DJ go.
I mean, look, they had the idea, the way things go nowadays is just like if you draft a quarterback high, the idea is that you want to put that man out there right from the start Like, okay, we invested this pick in you, so we're going to get the most out of you, and you're going to be out here right from the get go. If this was yes, this is 2024, 20 years ago, then yeah, you could probably get away with that. And you bring in a Kurt Warner to start in front of an Eli Manning that you spent, the fourth overall pick on in a trade and a whole bunch of other stuff. But nowadays, it's just like you get him out there, and it's just like, oh man, no, we gotta get this guy. We gotta draft him, and once we draft him, he's got to be out there immediately. But if PFN's mock drafts and stuff that you've been doing show up right, and we actually do end up like a Cam Ward at pick 40, then yeah, I don't care that we can do that.
I was gonna say, so like, I mean, obviously it's way too early for actual draft talk, but if we're being real, like a lot of people have us moving on. I mean, most everybody is moving on from DJ after this year, and the crazy thing is, lately he's been playing pretty well. Now, like again, he's being efficient. He's not being amazing. This past Sunday was a good game from him, outside of the one fumble. But other than that, he's been playing pretty well this past couple of weeks. Now, the only thing is, like, if you move on from him this year, you were to draft a Cam Ward, or even I know everybody's not gonna love the pick. I don't want to love it either, but if you drafted a Cam Ward or you drafted a Quinn Ewers, say in the second round or whatever, you're gonna throw Quinn Ewers out there like day one starter. Like, that's my only issue. Or even if you drafted a Cam Ward, or even if Shedeur Sanders, like, is this the quarterback class that you think you could just go out and throw him out there day one? Because I mean, look at if you compared quarterbacks like McCarthy and Penix this year, do you think those are QB 1 and 2 for 2025? Because neither of them are starting as top 10 picks.
No,
like
not at all.
Do you think Penix or McCarthy are better than any quarterback coming out this year?
I'm not. All right, so I was never really high on McCarthy to begin with.
Yeah,
Penix, I always looked at Penix as like a second round pick, and like Penix, the thing with him, all of us were surprised that he sat up there and went 8.
Oh, but yeah, 1,000%.
But he sat up there and he ended up in possibly like the best scenario for him. He has a guy that's sitting in front of him, so that he can come in, he can learn the playbook. He's going to be playing indoors. You're talking about a guy playing for a team that's going to have at least 9 indoor games a year for him, like for his first, for his rookie contract and everything like that, as long as he stays with Atlanta. Mm-hmm. But so like, you don't have like the element that's actually taken like or affecting his game for the majority of his season. Then you add in the fact that the alternating year, the way they do the 17th game or whatever, every other year, that means you have an additional home game on your schedule. So then that's going to bump it up to 10. And then don't be playing the Rams. Don't be playing the Cardinals. Don't be playing the Cowboys. Don't be playing the Lions. Like, I'm going to be stuck on it. This has nothing to do with it. I'm going to be stuck on the Lions in this schedule that they got for a long time. And they have 14 indoor games this year. but I'm just saying, like, he has an advantage and he's in a very good position. But the thing about us, and it feels really weird saying this, I don't like sitting up here jumping to conclusions immediately because both of us are Giants fans. And like it, for people who have teams who haven't won championships or haven't won championships recently, this is going to come across as being really, really spoiled on my part. But we are, yes, long-suffering Giants fans, all right? So just like I am with my Mets at times or whatever, I'm always waiting for that other shoe to drop. You said Daniel Jones has been playing pretty well the last couple of weeks or whatever. It's actually been a little bit more than pretty well if you look at it statistically. His quarterback rating over the last couple of weeks, and I mean, if you take out the Minnesota game, because that was just ass, but his QBR, I believe, is high 90s over the last 4 games, and that's just like with 2 games. I'm sorry, not 2 games. With the 1 game or whatever against Dallas, he didn't even throw a freaking touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
But for the rest of the season, he's got 6 touchdowns and 1 pick. And that 1 pick was what that Hail Mary that he threw
Yep.
at the end of the game against the Cowboys. That was it. So, like I said, he's been actually way better than, honestly, I even thought that possible at this point because I didn't think he really had anything left. And I think he was coming in shell-shocked. So,
potentially.
It's going to be really weird looking at the situation as we're going through the rest of the season. Granted, again, we're only like a third of the way through the season, but you're looking at it and it's just like, if this continues, you're talking about, let's just say, for argument's sake, we go 2-3 throughout the entire throughout the whole season. Granted, I know that's leaving 2 games on the thing, but we go 2-3 for the rest of the season. That's going to leave us at 6 wins. All right, 6 wins puts us where at like 7, 8 in the draft, 9 maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Are we in position? And as you said the other day, now you got the Raiders to worry about. We're drafting a quarterback. Now you got.
You might have
who else? You might have the Panthers. Like I said, unfortunately, that was one that I spoke into existence because I was just like, are they going to give up on him? And they fucking gave up on him.
Yeah, you got those two. Now you got the Titans because the Titans just benched Will Levis last week and they put Mason Rudolph in. He balled for him.
Are the Steelers going to sit up there and just continue to ride with
Fields,
with Russell Wilson and what's his face?
Justin Fields.
I can't think. Yeah, Justin Fields. Then you got the situation with damn it! I keep forgetting shit.
What's up, Chris? By the way, what's up?
This is fatigue right here.
I was gonna say
this is flat out fatigue right here.
I was gonna say because Antonio Pierce was talking about he doesn't know what quarterback is going to be there. I mean, what quarterback they want to rock with week to week now. So they got that situation with Gardner and Aiden O'Connell. And, they got Mark Davis over here talking to Shador already.
That's right. Miami.
I was going to say Miami next because
Miami.
They need somebody.
What's going on with Tua? Is Tua going to survive?
Right, for real. They need somebody. They need somebody to at least be there in case something happens again. Saints, Dolphins, Raiders, Panthers, Titans for sure. Giant Topic says. Yeah, I don't know. Dolphins, Raiders, Panthers, Titans. Yeah, we said Saints. I don't know, only because they have Spencer Rattler and they're really high on him. And he's actually supposed to start the next couple of games, I believe, because Derek Carr just went down with an injury. They say he's supposed to be out for like a couple of weeks. So Rattler's going to get a chance to play. And he was really moving up a lot of draft boards during like that towards the end of the draft process and stuff. They say he turned his attitude around. He's been really great as of late, and we'll see what happens. I know they still could definitely go with the quarterback, but hey, said Jalen Milroe. I don't know about Milroe. People seem to really like him. He's going up draft boards already. He's big. He's an athlete for sure. If I have my pick, I'm going Cam Ward though. Like that's the guy I want. But
yeah,
like we were saying, just for you guys that just came in, but like if you had to move on from DJ and you see what the Falcons are doing, they have Kirk Cousins, you have Penix sitting behind him. If Kurt leaves after this year on that 1-year deal, whatever, Penix takes over, would you be interested in picking up like Kirk Cousins on a 1-year deal if you move on from DJ, drafting one of the quarterbacks in this draft coming up in 2025? Because the thing is, you see Penix, you see McCarthy sitting there behind players already and just kind of learning the system. Now, you're looking at it from the 2025 draft, do you see a quarterback that could step in day one, a Shedeur Sanders, a Cam Ward, a Carson Beck, Nussmeier, any of them? Do you see any of those guys coming in and being a day one starter? Or do you see them any of them being better than McCarthy or Penix this past draft? So if you're sitting up here, you're sitting at whatever the Giants, like he said, we go 6-11. You are at pick 5 or 6. Do you see yourself taking a Shedeur? Do you see yourself taking a Cam Ward or whoever and starting them day one? Or would you draft or do sign somebody? I don't even know who you would go get. Would you sign somebody and put them in as your day one, put them in as your starter and have that quarterback you got sit for a year, maybe a half season, something? That's kind of like where we're at right now. We're trying to get to the Giants Seahawks game, but as always, we go off on weird tangents, and we're both just awesome. So, topic says, I was talking to my boy, who's a Saints fan today, and he was saying the energy around the Saints is, if Rattler doesn't show any promise, it's a rebuild season next year. They're an old team. Okay. I think Milroe and Daves will be good. Yeah, I love Cam Ward. I just don't want year 7 or DJ with that 50+ mil cap hit. I look to either Jameis or Kirk Flacco situation, but something tells me if they win more, they'll convince themselves for year 7.
Here's the thing about that, and I honestly believe that without a playoff appearance, that you're not going to get year 7. Because what I think, the thing about Daniel Jones right now is he has been so up and down that the only thing that you can like really hang your hat on is how inconsistent he's fucking been. So unless he comes out there and actually leads this team to another playoff berth and another playoff victory, I don't think it's going to happen. I think you have to pull the trigger at some point and just be like, all right, you know what? This probably isn't going to be the best thing. Let's send you out. Like I said it before, like send him out to Arizona. Like have him be Kyler Murray's backup or whatever. And when Kyler Murray inevitably, ends up getting put in the dirt by Fred Warner, then had Daniel Jones to come out there and he could, thrive throwing the ball with Marvin Harrison with very little, pressure coming from the New York media because we ain't gonna be out there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's just like, and I'm like, that's like I said before, I'm really, really, really not trying to get
that's another team
too far. Yeah.
Rams. It's another team because Matt Stafford's pushing 40.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying?
But I'm just like, I'm really, really, really not trying to get too far ahead of myself. But this year has been weird. This year has been incredibly weird. And I'm not trying to sit up here and play the what if game. But, bro, we're literally like 3 plays away from being 4-1.
I know.
And we're talking not like, oh man, well, if this pass interference was called or anything like that. No. Like Malik Neighbors catches the ball versus Washington. They don't win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Wan'Dale Robinson or Darius Slayton catches that, and I'm not putting Neighbors in on that one because Neighbors had a concussion at that point. But Robinson or Slayton catches those balls against Dallas. We win that game. Or let me put it to you, we may win that game because we hadn't put the ball in the end zone at all today.
Yeah. Alfredo says, I'm loving the O-line so far this year. Hard not to compare to what we've been doing the past 10 years. Yeah, I mean, it's night and day. Like it is night and day. Last year around this time, I want to say we had given up close to almost 30 sacks. Like I want to say this year we're at about, I want to say it was like 10, 8, 12, something like that. I have to fact check that. But it is night and day. And I mean, the run game, pass protection, like it's night and day. Then on top of that, you have to look at how many of those sacks are actually credited to the line versus what's credited to DJ because that man holds on to the ball like nobody's business. So I mean, but I
And
gotta
then
look.
on top of that, there's other stuff that factors into that as well. Like I believe yesterday, I keep saying yesterday, Sunday, I believe he took a sack, but the sack that he took was him sliding inbounds to keep the clock running in the fourth quarter or something like. It was some weird ass play.
Mm,
But like I said, so like that's going to count as a sack. But it's just like, all right, well, the other option was him throwing the ball away and stopping the clock because he had really nowhere to go with it, or taking a big hit, or going out of bounds, which is counterproductive to actually trying to win the game at that point.
right. I mean, like it's crazy how going out and spending some money like on quality players, which is what we were saying all offseason. Like go out and spend quality, you spend money on quality players. Like it's one thing to just get a quantity, like, oh, we signed 14 offensive linemen. Like, oh, that's great. But if 13 of the 14 suck, what does that do for us? Like
Yep.
going out and spending the money to get Runyon to go out and get Illuminor and then bringing in Van Roten eventually. And, people were talking about how bad Van Roten's been, but he's been pretty solid for us. The only thing I'm thinking of now is Van Roten's on a 1-year deal. Illuminor needs to be extended. Like, he's only on a 2-year deal. He needs to be extended. Running's on a 4, I believe. So you're looking at GVR. The only thing I'm thinking with him is either we're going to bring him back or you're going to have to go. Because, again, for whatever reason, we don't want to move Neal to guard. So, and I don't want to see Josh Azudu touch the field. So go find somebody. If you're going to let GVR walk on a 1 year, you got to either draft somebody or something.
Well, from what I had heard earlier on in the season, they don't want Azudu at guard either.
No, they don't. They think he's a left tackle.
They think he's a tackle. And I'm just like, eh.
We've given up 12. All-Line's given up 12 this year so far. 12. That's it. I mean, like I said, this time last year, like, forget about it. Forget about it.
Yeah, guys were out there getting killed.
Yeah, which is, again, part of the reason why, DJ looked as terrible as he did. Now, I'm not excusing all of his play because the guy simply, when he did have time, looked awful. But
he was seeing ghosts. So
yeah, oh yeah. But yeah, it's going to be, like I said, like you said, we are in a very interesting situation because while our record reflects we're 2-3, like you said, we are 2-3 plays away from being 4-1, and then it changes your whole outlook on the season. We're going into this game against the Bengals 4-1. Now we should be rolling off some great momentum of going into Seattle and beating a good Seahawks team, which we're going to get to. But if you can parlay that into beating, the Bengals on Sunday night, which is very possible because the Bengals defense hasn't been good this year and they're down a lot of pieces. Their offense is their offense. You got Burrow's going to sit back there. The offensive line, hopefully we can tear into them and cause chaos, throw Burrow off. The run game's taking a hit because they don't have Mixon back there anymore. So, but you still have to worry about Chase and Higgins. So it's going to be interesting for our young secondary against those two, prolific receivers. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. But if you can take them into this game, roll into that, and beat them on Sunday night, which I don't know the last time we won the game on Sunday night. I don't know if it was last year or what. But you go now, you're 3-3. You're right in the thick of your division. And I mean, the Commanders are leading the way right now. And then you got Dallas and the Eagles at both at 3-2, I believe, or 2-2, something like that. Because I don't think the Eagles played last week. So the Eagles want to bye. So the Eagles 2. So we're at the bottom, but we win this game, it can shake everything up. Like it's completely different. And like I said, the only thing that's interesting is like we can do all this and have progress, which we've already seen. Defensive lines looking better. Like DJ Davidson came out with 2 sacks on Sunday.
Yeah.
Starting to come together. DJ's playing efficient with the ball. He's actually pushing the ball downfield last game and getting, connecting on passes. It's when you get to the end of the season, depending on how our record is and how if we can keep this actual consistency and this ball rolling, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, do you let DJ go? And then if you do, you're literally Daves and Shane are staking their claim like this is now our era. Because if you let him walk and you go get your quarterback, this is the stake of your claim. This is our era. We're gonna go get our quarterback for better or worse, and this is what's gonna happen. If you let DJ stay, you're still kind of in like that gray area of like, where are we going? Is he good enough to be a game manager if we just keep putting pieces around him, or is he the guy? So like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Seattle.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, my ideal situation about this entire thing is that we go out here and we take Evan Neal and trade him to whoever's going to have the number one pick for the number one pick and go win the Super Bowl with Daniel Jones, and then he retires.
I'll tell you what we said before, man. Anything short of like 4,000 yards passing, and like he's at like 1,100 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1,100 yards passing and like 6 touchdowns. But I need to see. I think what his highest touchdown total was like 22 his rookie year, something like that. I need to see
24.
24. I need to see 30.
The thing about that though, even with that, like those 24 touchdowns came in like 4 games. It was crazy.
And we gotta see something. Like we got like again, my thing I was preaching this whole off season was progress. I want to see progress. Like that's from everybody. I want to see the receivers step up. I want to see the line step up. And like I said, let's get into the Seahawks game because it is late, and I know everybody here is tired. Dexter Defensive Player of the Year. If Dexter Lawrence keeps that up, he will win Defensive Player of the Year. Like he's all right. Seattle game thoughts. Topic. I see you in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on the Seattle game too. I'll put it up on the screen. Benji, thoughts on the Seattle game? What you got?
So my thoughts on that game are going to be a little scattered. You know what I was dealing with on Sunday. I was sitting there. I'm back and forth between the Giants game and the NLDS because for whatever reason, some jackass thought that it would be a good idea to throw 2 New York teams on at the exact same time. And whoever decided that can literally go fuck themselves.
Demonetized.
So we were already demonetized. I already dropped like 3 or 4 F-bombs before we even started.
We don't make enough to get paid for this anyway.
But from what I saw, we had another situation where the team responded when something happened at the beginning of the game that could have been and would have been catastrophic for them beforehand. Very first play, very first snap that we have, Andrew Thomas steps on DJ's foot. DJ falls over. He fumbles the damn ball. All right. We lose 15, 16 yards on this damn play. And we lose 15 yards because the next play is 2nd and 25. Right? From the 5-yard line. I'm like, are you kidding me with this dumb shit? You cannot be serious that this is how we're starting this game after 10 days off. You got to be better than this. And the fact is that we were better than that. 2 plays and we already have a first down, one of which is, oh my God, a successful screen pass to Eric Gray for like 20 yards. And like, into the drive, be damned. Eric Gray just showed you that he can add another element to this offense with that screen game. Right? So now, just about all your running backs are pretty much interchangeable. So now you're sitting up there, Devin Singletary isn't available, or if he's having a bad game or something like that, guess what? You don't have to change up the playbook if you got to bring Eric Gray or Tyrone Tracy in there, because Eric Gray and Tyrone Tracy can come in there and they can actually do the same things that Devin Singletary can. So I was real happy with that. I've seen the replay like 4 or 5 times now, and again, I'm looking at it through the Giants fan glasses or whatever. I swear to God, Eric Gray scored a touchdown on that play. I don't want to hear, "Oh, don't reach the ball." Fuck that. That ball was over the goal line before he fumbled. Other than that, I want to say the defense. The defense was good, but they were like sporadic good. If that makes any sense, because and maybe this is just me like still trying to adjust to the Shane Bowen thing again, but it's just like I saw too many people wide the fuck open too many times, and it wasn't like, okay, we just blew coverage on this thing. It was just people finding holes in the zone, right? Tyler Lockett goes out there. We're playing like a straight up cover two, not that inverted cover two shit that we were doing before. But we're sitting up here playing like a straight up cover two, and this dude just finds a hole in the zone. And next thing you know, he's like 40, 50 yards down the field. Only reason why he ended up getting tackled on that play is because he ran into his own man. And I'm just like, bro, come on. Then, like, again, for all of the grief and everything that I've been giving Deonte Banks or whatever, he had a pretty good game yesterday. I think they said midway through the game he had 3 pass breakups already. That he had gotten his hands on like 3 different balls or whatever, on top of the fact that he's the one that forced the DK Metcalf fumble. So, yeah, like I said, I got to give him this prop. You still suck, but I'm going to still give you your props until you prove to me that you can do that shit on a consistent basis. And I love being proven wrong with shit like that. Show me you can do it, all right? Otherwise, I'm going to keep ragging on your ass. But yeah, man, like I said, I liked what I saw for the most part yesterday, Sunday.
That victory killed us.
Yeah, man. I like what I saw for the most part on Sunday. And one other thing I did want to bring up, I know, we have our thing with Slayton and dropping the damn ball and everything like that. That's a part of his game. I did not know that he's dealing with a thumb issue or something like that. They pointed it out on the broadcast or whatever that he's wearing like a splint or something on one of his thumbs. So I'm just like, all right, maybe.
When he left the game last week, I believe that's what the issue was. Because he left the game. Who did he play last week?
Dallas,
yeah. I think he got hurt during the Dallas game. I think he left and he went to the sideline or something. He was off the field and then he came back. He had some type of injury. I think that's probably what it was. Yeah,
I know they pointed it out on the broadcast or whatever. And of course, Tiki Barber's on the broadcast, so they're asking him how hard is it to do X, Y, and Z with this, that, and the other. And he's trying to explain it and everything like that. And I'm just like, all right, I get it at that point. But the other thing is Darius Slayton doesn't really catch the ball with his hands. Most of the time, he body catches.
Always a body catch.
Just like I'm gonna say with him, I'm gonna say the same shit with Wan'Dale. Catch the fucking ball, please. We have to stop putting the ball on the ground. We are not good enough to continue doing that mess and keep winning. You go on ahead. I gotta check something. Somebody texted me.
So real quick. Giant Topic says, good game to be honest. All 3 phases were solid. Got to fix the drops and fumbles. Hyde needs to get more involved, and Flott did good too. I think this Sunday will be very telling. The Giants will be going against a battle offensive line again, but the best QB they faced all year. Chase and Higgins are beast. Their D is good too. Get your first win, and on the prime time, change the narrative. Chris, we gotta get you back on the show. Probably next Monday. I'll probably be sending you a link or something if you're free. Get you back on the show. But yeah, I mean, I agree with both of you guys. It was a great game. I think Dave's had a masterclass in his play calling this past Sunday. I think he did great. Every team's going to have ebbs and flows to the game. Not everything's going to work. Screen game, great. Offensive line, gashing the Seahawks, and Tyrone Tracy just having a field day running the ball. And that's where my name comes in. And it's one thing that you said to me. What did you say during the game? You were texting me yo, if this
he might be RB1 after this.
If this converted wide receiver to running back can switch hands with the ball while he's running, why can't Devin Singletary?
Mm-hmm.
Had 2 fumbles now that have cost us dearly. So this kid's been playing running back for 1 year, and he has enough sense to switch the ball in his hands when he's running up sideline. Because if you fumble and it just rolls out of bounds, I mean, hold on to the ball, but it's no harm, no foul. But if you're Devin Singletary, who wants to run up the left sideline with the ball in his right hand and get it punched out and it rolls back into play, you're killing us. It's not just killing you, it's killing the entire team. So, but again, Tyrone Tracy looked great. 129 yards rushing in his rookie debut as a running back 1, as a 5th round pick.
I actually got it right here. Hold on for 1 second.
I think he looked great.
Yeah. 18 carries for 129 yards.
There you go. Like on 18 carries, your offensive line was gashing Seattle. The offensive line coach in me was happy. Like that was like one thing that really made my day. DJ pushing the ball down the field. That looked great. Love to see that. Because again, he's been efficient, but it was all like short to mid game, actually pushing the ball down the field and causing and making plays. And even if you push the ball down the field and don't cause and make a play, you can cause penalties, anything can happen. I understand there's 50-50 balls you may lose, but you have enough speed to do it. Between Wandale and Hyatt, Slayton, Neighbors, like you have more than enough speed to throw that ball down the field. Somebody's going to come down with the ball, come down with a PI, something. You got to keep the defense honest. You can't have these guys just pinning their ears back and just coming after you. You have to keep them honest. So I did like him pushing the ball down the field. That was great. Like you said, Wandale, you got to catch the ball. These drops are starting to add up now. They're starting to kill us. People are going crazy on X like they always do, which is why I've been off of X. But people have been going crazy on X about maybe we should trade Wandale. I'm like, calm down. Like, calm down. Like, I'll jump to the biggest conclusions. We're not trading Wandale Robinson. Like, relax. He's still a great piece of a big piece of the offense. Especially last year where nobody was doing anything. He was coming out showing his ass every damn game. You calm down. The drops will be fixed. Goodness gracious. Theo Johnson, another rookie contributing, finally getting the ball in his hands. Like people have already been saying Joe Shea in his 2024 class has been a master class. I think it's a little too early to say that. But all his draft picks have been pretty much contributing pretty well from Neighbors. Tyler Nubin's looked great. Theo Johnson.
Tyler Nubin led us in tackles this week.
Yo, like Tyler Nubin's been balling. He looks amazing. Now everybody, of course, is going to compare him to Xavier McKinney, and then over here, they're putting up their LeBron James stats. Xavier McKinney is the first player to have 3 picks in the 5 games, and while wearing number 29 for the Green Bay Packers with dreads and wearing tattoos. Like, come on, all right, with the LeBron James stats, relax. Like, Tyler Nubin's been out here balling. Neighbors looks great. Theo's finally getting involved in the offense more. So, I mean, it's a bittersweet thing for me a little because I love Belly, and he's being used less and less. And I want to see them get back to use Belly a little bit more. But Theo's been heavily involved. My only thing with the offense is what the hell is going on with Jalen Hyatt? What is going on with this kid? Because now,
I don't know.
Because now I have snap counts already from the game. He played in 67% of the snaps of the game. And I
don't think he saw a single target.
He didn't get a target. Not one target. And Dave sat here and was saying, it's just before the game, the prior weeks, he was saying it's just a package. We have certain packages lined up for this guy. And his package was literally to put him in the game and run a go route or run a deep post and then take him back off. That's what he was getting his reps. Now this kid has played 70% of the game damn near because Neighbors is out. And you didn't target him, let alone throw the ball to him. He didn't have one catch. He didn't get a target. So you put this guy out here, you're not even looking his way. So you're literally just looking at Wan'Dale, Theo, and Slayton. What is going on?
I'm looking at. I know. If I remember correctly, when I was listening to the breakdown, the Slayton 41 yarder, he was actually the second read on that play.
I heard that.
So I believe the initial read on that play was Hyatt, and DJ came off of him for some reason. Like I don't know if he was like doubled or why the fuck they would double him to begin with. He hadn't seen the damn pass in like 3 weeks, but
Yes.
I don't know if he was doubled or if the other guy just had him like blanketed or whatever. But all I know is like DJ, he was on Hyatt and he came off of him and he saw Slayton had a step and he gave it to Slayton. So the rest of the game, I'm sitting up there and I'm going into this game thinking, I'm just like, all right, if this is the case, and from what they were saying at the beginning of the season, that he was wide receiver 3 when they were in when they were out there 2 wide receiver sets, and wide receiver 4 when he was in 3 or in 11 personnel. That means like with Neighbors out, that means he's going to be wide receiver 2. So I'm just like, all right, here's your opportunity, and I didn't see him out there aside from just like in between plays. Like I did see him on the Wan'Dale touchdown or whatever. Like I said, I saw him on the Slayton pass and stuff like that. But other than that, he was just like non-existent. And it's like for as little time as they played together last year, you know that him and Daniel Jones do still have a rapport. They have a rapport from training camp. Hell, half of the deep ball highlights that you saw were to Slayton. I mean, the other ones were the Neighbors, but the other, like you saw, they were going down to Slayton. So the question is, what the hell's going on now? Yeah, no, I meant the deep balls were to Hyatt.
Right.
So I'm just like, what the hell's going on right now? Like, what is it? And I honestly don't have an answer to it.
Every highlight we saw in training camp and everything was Neighbors and Hyatt going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just one-handed catch after one-handed catch, beating this person in coverage. And maybe it was because Hyatt was like killing Trey Hawkins or something. Like maybe that's what it was. Like I don't know. But even in the joint practices, they were still showing Hyatt getting touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like what's changed? Like Giant Topic says you gotta make a decision. Either you're gonna trade Slayton if you don't plan on extending him, or get Hyatt more involved and accept his depth and get your number 2 next year. I don't know. I mean, and that goes back to 2 pieces. So if you're going plan A, it's kind of like a Saquon X kind of situation where it's like if you know you're not bringing this guy back, do you trade him and get what you can for him? But then if you're in the situation that we're in right now, where we're kind of still in the thick of things, like, again, we're saying when we go back and we beat the Bengals on Sunday night, now we're 3-3. You gonna just trade Slayton, who's been your number 2 guy after Neighbors, and then if you're gonna let Slayton walk for nothing, and you're saying, okay, we need a wide receiver 2 next year, that means you gotta draft another receiver decently high in the draft after just taking Neighbors. If you're gonna say that Hyatt's just more of a depth guy, and I gotta find a receiver 2. Not necessarily saying you have to go out in the first round and get a receiver again, but if you're gonna say, it's tough to draft a guy 5th round and be like he's receiver 2 over Wan'Dale.
That's the problem that I see we're getting ready to run into. When it comes to trading, you'd have to look and think, like, realistically, what do you think you're going to get back for a guy like Darius Slayton? On how many teams is Darius Slayton a number 2 receiver?
Number 2.
Not even the 1.
No, he's not.
How many teams is he a number 2? I could probably put him number 2 down in Dallas because I don't think Jalen Tolbert is that good.
No, I think he could be a number two, and then you have Cooks in the slot, and Cooks is
in the
injured,
slot. Yeah,
and Cooks is injured right now. But I swear, if we traded it seriously into the Cowboys, oh my god,
no, I don't think. No, I'm just throwing them out there because that's the team that I think that he would be number two on.
yeah, I
I
get
don't
you.
know who. I don't know who Arizona number two is.
They got
Um,
the kid Michael Wilson that they really love. They really love that
isn't
kid.
Hollywood out there too?
He's on the Ravens.
Oh, all right.
No, he's on the Chiefs. Hollywood's on the Chiefs, but he's hurt.
Hollywood Brown.
But he's on the Chiefs,
How much fucking speed does the team need?
but he's hurt right now. That's why they got Juju and Worthy, Sky Moore, and Kelsey right now. Yeah,
You know
Hollywood's
what?
hurt. Hollywood's
I
hurt.
can't stand them.
I know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right though. You have to look down the list of teams, and I'm sitting in my head thinking while you were talking about it. I mean, he ain't going to the Niners. That ain't gonna happen. He ain't going to the Seahawks.
No.
The
Because the Seahawks arguably have like two number one receivers in DK and Lockett, and then JSN is a number two himself.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers maybe. Like I don't know.
But why would the Panthers be trading for a Darius Slayton in the middle of the season? They probably want to go pick up a guy in the draft, somebody that they can mold or somebody they can control for a longer time.
I mean, they just got Xavier Legette. They just got him.
Yeah.
They got Thielen down there. Like it's very slim. So it really
It's slim pickings. So the idea of like, all right, we should just trade this guy. It's not that, like, I know people know this or whatever, but it really isn't that simple. So you got to look at it and be like, all right, is trading him actually feasible? Is somebody going to take him? And
then I feel like you're right. You're right. And I feel like the other part of it is it worth it? Because if you're going to take this dude out of your offense at the expense of like a 6th-round pick, like, because that's all you're going to get. That's all you base your offense.
Yeah.
Is that really worth it to take DJ's most, trusted receiver away from him and just derail most of your offense? Like,
and then not like people like are really giving too much of a shit about this anyway, but like to me, and again, this is just me. If he fails, I want him to have all of the tools out there at his disposal to fail. I don't want there being any excuse that he failed. All right. So I don't want to sit up here and take away a guy that he's been throwing the ball to for 5 years and be like, all right, well, you still got to go produce. Because it's just like, what the fuck? Why are you shooting me in my leg and then telling me to go run a race?
Very true. Very true, because it's always been an excuse since he's been in the league.
It's always been that way.
It's been an excuse. It's always been, well, he didn't have a full season. The offensive line's not good. All the run game's not good. He has no receiver to throw the ball to. Now it's like, there's
now he has it. There's no excuses.
You have a top 10 offensive line in front of you. You got a good back in Devin Singletary. Now you found out that you have 2 other backs behind him that are pretty solid too. You got probably one of the most talented young receiving corps in the entire league. You got Neighbors, Wandale, Slayton, Hyatt, Theo, Belly. Like, you have pieces around you with a top 10 offensive line in front of you who's keeping you upright and giving you more than enough time to throw, receivers that are getting separation, running backs that are averaging good yards per game. Like, you have no excuse. So produce or you got to go. Defensively, let's get into it before we both pass out. Well, as you said, and I'm gonna give Banks his flowers. I think he played his best game in the season so far. Completely shut down DK Metcalf. Metcalf had 24 yards receiving on him, and he forced a fumble. So I'm gonna give him that. Pinnock and Nubin continue to do their thing. Defensive line, 7 sacks. I mean, again, leading the league with 22 right now, and I feel like we have to take advantage of the Bengals' offensive line woes. Like, I want another 6 to 7 sacks Sunday night. Like, I want us to get after
from this alone.
if Dexter Lawrence gets 7 sacks by himself, like, he needs to win DPOY. He was, you know what? He needs to win the league MVP if he gets 7 sacks
Yes.
by himself. Like 7 in one game. Here's the MVP trophy right now, week 6. Take it. Yeah, the crazy thing is, like, looking at the snap count and stuff, he was only on the field 76% of the time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he only played 76%. Flop played 53%. Nunez Roaches played 52%. Adoree played 47%. My thing is, one person that I'm looking out for, and admittedly, I've been tough on him. I had a hard time thinking he was going to even make the team this past year, and I'm still interested to see what happens next year because I still think after this year, we need to let Nacho go. I like Nacho, but I believe we can upgrade it. I love the pieces that we have. They're all young: Chapman, Davidson, Riley, now Casey Rogers. But I think we could go early to mid rounds in the draft and draft like a mammoth type dude that could eat doubles and leave Dex 1-on-1, and then Tibbs 1-on-1, and then what's his name? Burns go 1-on-1. I would love to draft, like Chris just says, let Nacho go get a D tackle in the second round. And again, crazy ass me's already been doing mock drafts, like just to get something in my head.
I've been sitting up there for the past 2 years drafting a defensive tackle in the second round for us.
Yeah, like
each damn time, like I was on T'Vondre Sweat the entire time. Like I don't know how he's doing right now, but just thinking of T'Vondre Sweat and his 360-pound self next to Dexter Lawrence, and I'm just like, how are you stopping this? How are you going to run on this?
You're not. You're not.
I like that.
You're not. You're not. That's what I'm saying. Like, I love the young depth pieces that we have. Like Chris said, we used to be a D tackle powerhouse. Yes, we did. I remember we had days we had William Joseph and Barry Caulfield. Barry Caulfield was my guy. Fred Robbins, even Chris Canty was in there. Linval Joseph, like John Hankins. Yo, man, we had some D tackles. Like,
speaking of Hankins, like, he had to see him yesterday too. So.
Man. Anyway,
Sunday.
Yeah, man. It's Tuesday. But what I was gonna say was I have to give him his props. DJ Davidson, I gotta give him his props. 2-sack performance. Like, I was impressed. I was definitely impressed, and especially the second one where he like threw the offensive lineman into the court to Gino. And then your boy
Dexter
in the game too.
That's a Dexter Lawrence move.
He threw the guard into Gino and knocked him down. It's like, goodness.
Like, sacked the quarterback with his offensive lineman.
Like, that's one person I'm watching now. Like, because again, I didn't expect much out of DJ because I didn't even care for the pick when he came out, and I feel like the Giants have a big tendency to draft people who otherwise wouldn't be drafted. Like, I don't think anybody was going to draft DJ Davidson. I don't think anybody was going to draft Darius Muasau, to be honest with you. Like, I just don't see people as drafted. But the Giants continue to do that. So I'm like, okay, well, you're here. Let's see what you can do. And I think his rookie season, he was out for season, got hurt early on. Last year, I would say he didn't play a lot. And now this year, like, he's been doing all right. But, like, this past game was like, okay, like, 2 sacks out of nowhere, DJ Davidson. All right, like, let's see what else you can do. Because now I'm kind of interested to see what you can do because you're a different type of player than Elijah Chapman. Elijah Chapman's a small dude. He's going to work. He's a workhorse, but he's an undersized guy. He's 290, something like that, 285, 6 foot, if that. DJ Davidson, you're 6'2", 6'3", 3 and change. You're a different type of body. So I want to see what you can do if you can be the guy full time. Or we have to go get somebody because I'm still like I would still go get somebody in the draft. Like, we got a lot of young pieces, but I still go get somebody. I also am interested to see what's going to happen with Aziz after the next season because we are scarcely thin on the edge. And we released Ben Wheatley because we had to elevate Dante Miller and we had to elevate Hodgins. Yeah. So we're a little scarcely thin at edge. So I want to know what's going to happen at the edge position. So I would add somebody in the draft, but I'm also interested to see what happens with Aziz after this year. So we got a lot of decisions to make even going forward because we got to be able to do more than just Tibbs and Burns. There's got to be somebody else. I want to be able to be a rotational thing. We're rotating a D tackle. We're putting other people in. You have your time where you have Chapman and DJ in, or Chapman and Nacho in, or something like that. But we need somebody else on the edges besides Burns and KT.
Yeah. And to be completely honest with you, I know it's really not feasible right now because of how offenses and everything are played, but the way that we're sized up when it comes to our front seven, I would very much like to see us ditch this damn 4-2-5 and go with a traditional 3-4 again, because that way you got guys you would have actual defensive tackles taking on these offensive tackles, and your edge rushers being guys like KT and Brian Burns. They would be granted, they would be still coming off of the edge and everything like that, but you're not rushing a 250, 240-pound guy into a 320-pound offensive lineman and expecting him to just bully that dude. So, I guess what I'm really saying is the fact that I'm missing the days of the Michael Strahans at 260, 270 out there rushing off of the edge and things like that. Because it really, really feels like our edge guys are undersized. And they end up either getting pushed out or running themselves out of plays a lot of times. That's one of the reasons why Geno stepped up as much as he did in this game, is because these guys, they're just rushing upfield or whatever, and they can't keep contained on them. So, like I said, hopefully that changes. But like I said, I'm a little more traditional when it comes to my defensive lineup. And the way these new things are set up, where these edge rushers are way smaller than they used to be. It's it just doesn't sit right with me because it feels like they can get bullied all the time.
That's understandable. I understand that. I don't know, because there have been times where we've been watching games and you do see Burns getting kind of driven out. So it's a good point. I want us to be honest, I want us to go sign Devin White because the Eagles just released him.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
I'm at least bring him to the practice squad if you can. I want to see us bring somebody because, again, being able to I know we have Isaiah Simmons and we move him in a lot of different positions, and we'll talk about that real quick before we get out of here. But again, I like depth, and I've been talking about having depth for the whole offseason. So you look at a Zach Cunningham was a free agent, Quan Alexander, among other linebackers, were free agents, and it was again another case of you look at our linebacking core, and you have Okereke and Micah, and then it's who's behind them. So it's you have
Musau, and that's literally it.
You got Musau, and then you got Deontay Johnson coming off of injury. He's been hurt since the second game of preseason. He doesn't have any NFL experience. He's on the practice squad all last year. So you got a 6th-round pick in Musau. This dude has no other NFL experience. And then you got Matthew Adams, who was just signed from the Browns in the offseason, but he's just mostly just a special teams player. So it's you want to be able to go in and know, God forbid something happens to X, then Z can go in, and there ain't much of a drop-off. But if you're going from McFadden to Deontay Johnson, as much as Deontay did well in preseason, again, we haven't seen him.
That was preseason.
We haven't seen him since the second game of preseason. So it's like just go get some depth. Like go get some quality depth. Like how we did the offensive line, and you sat up here and you signed, Runyon and Illuminor, and then you went and you got Stinney and you got Schlottman. Like you signed 4 and 5 offensive linemen, and then you went into the draft. You didn't sign drafting, but then you went into free agency after the draft and picked up another 2, 3, 4 people that you can develop on the practice squad. Like, go do that for other positions. Go get quality depth players. Like, the Eagles signed Devin White on a 1-year, $4 million deal. If you can't get him for either that or you can get him for something even cheaper than that and bring him to at least the practice squad, like, just to have a former Pro Bowl linebacker sitting on your practice squad, just elevate. Like, come on. Go get some depth. That's why I would love to see that. And then on top of that, like, and for nothing else, use him as a chess piece because you bring him in, and now when you go face the Eagles and the Eagles are making calls, he can tell you what they're doing. I mean, just like like if for no other reason, like,
look, it ain't cheating. The way back in the day, you remember Cornelius Griffin? He did it. Well, he did it with Washington. Who was it that was on? I think it was Barry Cofield. Went to Washington after we won in 2007. He went to Washington in, I think, 2011, and he called out something that we did because Kevin Gilbride was too stupid to change plate signals and everything. It ended up resulting in a pick 6 on the screen pass. I was like,
yo, I'm telling you, like, he been with them the whole time, the whole offseason. Go sign Devin White. Go sign Devin White, have a quality depth piece. And then the guy sits up here and can tell you, like, oh, when they do this signal, whatever on offense, they're going to run X, Y, and Z. Like, get it from the Eagles playbook. Even if they change the hand signals, like, get a peek into the guy's playbook and go from there.
Yeah, so you know what the tendencies and everything are too.
Right. Like, this is chess, not checkers. Like, come on. Strategy. Oh, gosh. All right. Any final thoughts before we talk about this Isaiah Simmons immaculate play?
I was about to say, like, the only final thought I really had is now we need to get Andrew Thomas on another little out route to catch another touchdown because Bryce Ford Wheaton has tied him in touchdowns. And I need my left tackle to still have more touchdowns than one of my receivers because that is still absurd.
Why? Why do you need that? Like,
just because of the absurdity of it.
Oh my gosh! Again, well, let's give BFW, not BFW. I mean, he was Johnny on the spot, but let's give Isaiah Simmons his credit. He hasn't.
Yes.
He's seen the field a decent amount of times, but I know he's been really frustrated with his role. He thought he'd be playing a lot bigger role than he has, but at the time he's taken advantage of it, and he was damn near the reason we won the game. Like, if we're being honest, like, I mean, we played a great game. We don't know if the Seahawks would have missed the field goal or not to tie it up, but I know we all know what was running through a lot of these Giants fans' minds. God, here we go.
Here we go again.
40-something-yard field goal. They're going to nail it. We're going to go up 23-23. We're going to go into overtime, and then we're going to lose after just having a great first 50 minutes of the game. Like, you know what was going through a lot of y'all minds, and Simmons just came in and had made one hell of a play, and then there was the whole debate of should he have gone down or should he have scored? Everybody was like, well, screw that. Go score. Like, go score. Go be up 9 with 50 seconds to go in the game and put on your defense to hold them from scoring and getting a 2-point conversion and then getting an onside and then getting the ball back and then going in the field. Like, in 50 seconds. Like, score, go up 9 and put on your defense. Like, thank you. Like,
and shout out to Dave's for, like, the situational awareness to just be like, you know what? We're up 9. just leave it at being up 9. There's no point in going up 10 or trying to go up 11.
Nope.
Right? It's already a 2-score game.
Mm-hmm.
And if in fact, like we just sat up here and like exploited like a very, very big flaw in the operation that Seattle has, what if Seattle had some type of exploit on us and then pulled the exact same thing? Now, guess what? Now it's a 7-point game instead of a 9-point game because they returned this shit for a 2-point conversion, and now they only need a touchdown, and then we still end up in overtime and lose. Like,
shout out Michael Gabriel too for catching that. Our new special teams coordinator catching that, and I love that he went against what Dave's wanted because supposedly Dave wanted to call that earlier in the game and go.
Yes,
no,
and he's like, no, wait, let's hold on to it.
We're gonna call that because we might need it. He kept that in the back pocket that situation. So shout out to him too. It's a great job by him, situational awareness and everything. So
it feels so weird actually giving the special teams coordinator props on this team.
Yeah, because we have freaking Thomas.
And yes, that is a very, very not veiled shot.
Yeah, we have freaking McGaughey here since like freaking
fucking dude actually sat up here and survived every single regime change ever. Special team was ass the entire time, and for whatever reason, oh man, he's such a nice guy. Let's just hold on to him. What?
Told you that dude's been here since like freaking Kerry Collins was the quarterback. Dude's been here mad long.
Damn sense.
Yeah, go away. You suck. Anyway, before we go on a rant about him, all right, let's get out of here. It's late. Freaking Tuesday don't hit the same.
I got one more tour to do. And then I gotta freaking go to another site to cover tonight. So
great. Sounds fun. I'll be over there sleeping the next 20 minutes. So thanks for watching. We'll try to do better next week when we're not exhausted. Let's go Giants. Let's try to get this W. That'd be great. Sunday night football, as our boy Chris said. Try to change the narrative about this season. Go 3-3 against the Bengals on the prime time and let the Cards where they do after that. But till then, have a good night. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, smash the like button. Try to do better next week. Till then, peace, everybody.
Oh yeah, fuck these refs for that penalty on Slayton. Oh, dumb.
I'm happy I didn't end the stream either. I'm so happy I caught that up.
I forgot all about that throughout this entire thing. That little bullshit ass. Jerry Slayton signaled first down, and they talking about he has a violent gesture because he's doing that. Like, motherfucker, fuck y'all.
And then CD Lamb does it that night, and they didn't say nothing. Good night, everybody.